Mark Richt exemplifies responsibility and excellence both on and off the field. He's a deeply religious man who always wants to set the proper example. He and his players have built several homes on behalf of Habitat for Humanity. Richt and his Bulldogs have also staged football clinics for children stricken with cancer. As for his own family, Mark and his wife, Catherine, a cancer survivor, have even traveled across the world to the Ukraine to adopt 2 children.
What happened on the trip to the Ukraine when you first saw your daughter and then your son?
When we were watching video of all the kids, Anya's face kept popping up in this video, you know, and we just kept looking at her and we're like, you know what, we need to go get her, you know. And so we knew that, but we also wanted to get a boy. Zach came in the room and he jumped around the room and knocked over a glass of water, and Catherine says he'll fit right in our family, so, and it was great.
It didn't matter what child they showed me, that was going to be the child that was going to be in our family, because I wasn't going to be able to say no.
Your family's had some health challenges, Mark, as well. Your wife was diagnosed with cancer. What has that experience been like for you?
Well, as much as I felt like I had my priorities in order, as much as I feel like I love my wife, she became a whole lot sweeter to me, you know, just a lot more precious to me, to think that something might happen to her. And then you begin to think, well, if something happened to her, what would happen to these kids? You know, how would my life change, you know? It was very scary for me. They feel like, oh, the cancer is gone, they don't think it's coming back, and you know, by the grace of God, that's happened. But we still know that, that things can change.
How is your family involved with the program?
Well, game day, you know, my wife, Catherine, is one of the water girls. Everybody wants to say she's the water girl, but she's just one of the water girls. And she's really the water girl for away games. She wanted to do something to connect with these players, you know, and be a part of their lives, and that's what she decided to do. And
Coach, what in your mind so far is the defining moment of your career?
Of my career? Wow. Just getting the first job, I guess, would probably be my defining moment. Believe it or not, when I got cut from the Miami Dolphins, I decided to become a coach, and I went a season of high school ball as an assistant coach where we went 0-10. I actually had accepted an opportunity to be a graduate assistant coach at LSU when Bill Arnsbarger was the head coach. And I had my U-Haul packed, ready to go to Baton Rouge, and then the night before I took off, I got a phone call from Bobby Bowden, and he asked me if I was interested in coaching his quarterbacks. Being under the influence of Coach Bowden was invaluable for me as a young coach to start in the business the way I did, and then for Coach Bowden to be the one to kind of show me the way. I don't think I could have found a better guy, but the true change in my life came at Florida State. In 1986, after a young man named Pablo Lopez was shot and killed. He was on our football team, and I'm in the back of the room. Coach Bowden's talking to the team about eternal things, and he preached the gospel that day. He says, all you guys think you're going to live forever. He said Pablo thought he was going to live forever, and but he's gone now. And he pointed to the seat where he used to sit. He said, if that was you last night, man, do you know where you'd spend eternity? That's really what changed my life.
You pick that one player, Coach. I'll pick another.
All right.
David Jacobs.
Right. Yeah. David Jacobs and I are just about like father and son, as close as I could be to a father, to a player, probably.
He's a player that you coached earlier in your career.
Yeah, our first year.
Suffered a stroke.
Sure did.
Went through a long and grueling recovery.
Right.
Mark, he has credited you as being the most important person that has allowed him to recover from the stroke to the degree where 15 months later he could come out onto this field senior day.
Yeah.
When he came out here.
Remember that day. Yeah.
What went through you?
He hadn't played for a year and a half, but he said, Coach, can I put my uniform on one more time? And so he puts his gear on, And I'm like, we got to introduce him last. The place goes bonkers, you know, for David. He runs out there in his uniform one last time, you know. It's pretty awesome.
It's years later. Why does it move you this much?
Well, I hadn't thought about it in a while, number one. So my emotions went back to then. And, you know, I mean, secondly, is, you know, I love the kid. Love him.
Don't give in mentally. Don't give in mentally. First. All right.
How do you earn a player's trust?
I think if you're really going to earn their trust, they got to know that you truly care about them as a person, that you want them to be not only a great football player, but a great man. I tell them, men, if you do that, if you take care of your wife and you bless your children, then not only are you going to bless their lives, but you're going to bless every generation that comes behind you. They have to understand, does Coach really care about me more than just this football thing? And I think that's the big key.
When we call out a name, we all clap one time and we all clap together. So get your hands ready to go. I don't want you slapping your side or your helmet. I want you clapping your hands for your teammate. This gentleman won the Copus Leadership Award given for grades and a significant weight on community service and honors. Q.
Our kids are hearing about being the right type, being a winner off the football field. And we spend a lot of time doing that where other schools might not. And that shows you, hey, that's half an hour, we can meet. We can go over football. No, Mark says, we're going to talk about character.
You also try to teach, Mark, through community involvement. You've had your team go and build houses with Habitat for Humanity. What do you see in the players, in their faces, while they're doing that?
I do make them, or at least strongly encourage them to do a community service project. I want them to see what it feels like to help others. I want them to see what it feels like to get out of their mode of being self-centered and look to someone else and see how it feels to really make a difference in someone's life. And I think once they get a little taste of that, they really love it.